straight into very serious business. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the program. This is your Business Morning. We're live to you from Lagos, the home of Nigeria's business and the headquarters of all the big financial institutions. This is the show for the next 1 hour from Channels Television, Nigeria's news leader. I am Busi Nomofai today. Let's get on with the world of tax. Of course, just a few days ago, last week to be precise, the Nigerian government expanded the pioneer status window for the number of companies that should benefit from what you call a tax holiday if they're doing business right. It was first mooted and rolled out under the Jonathan's administration, but that status, pioneer status program was suspended in September 2015 when the Buhari's administration took office. Then, just about almost 2 years down the line, that suspension has now been lifted, and the Buhari's government has increased the number of companies that will qualify for pioneer status by about 21. Now we have about 71 companies in that list. What's the essence of this via the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment is to ease business and galvanize the private sector as the lead engine for rolling out, for getting the economy moving forward. And you can see there on your screen a bit of a summary, a snapshot of what we're talking about from Deloitte, Nigeria. The man who is a partner at Deloitte and who is also the West African tax leader at Deloitte, Nigeria is Yomi Olugbero. He's joining us live this morning from our Abuja studios. Good morning. It's good to see you once again for the second time.
Wilson, good morning. It's good to be on your show. Thank you for having me.
This time around, it's a little bit of hundreds of kilometers away, but it's okay. Let's make good use of it. Now, this pioneer status, let's roll back a little bit for a few, 1 minute or two. Take us back to the Jonathan's administration when the pioneer status program was rolled out. What was the objective back then, and what exactly did you think was achieved before it was suspended in September 2015 by the Buhari's government?
All right. Thank you, Bosin. The pioneer incentive had actually been in force much earlier than the last administration. The enabling legislation is the Industrial Development Income Tax Relief Act. It's a 1971 act. The original compilation of the list of eligible industries and products, was approved by Council of Ministers in 1989. So it's been around for quite a while. But what happened was that over the years, there has been a number of additions and, if you like, what some regulatory authorities call some perversions within the process. And that was the process that led to the suspension in September 2015. The process of suspension actually started much earlier, around 2014, when there was an attempt to articulate more clearly, the objectives of the Pioneer Incentive Scheme and make sure that they're a lot more in tune with current realities. So there have been a lot of high and cry around, some of the administrative bottlenecks around the approval processes, the list of industries and companies that found themselves into that particular list. So in September 2015, the current administration took that bold step to suspend the approvals of new and renewals of applications that were expiring then. So it's that process that has now been finalized. The attempt is to do a holistic review and overhaul, of that particular process, including guidelines for approvals and for eligibility. And what we have approved by the Federal Executive Council and made known to us by the Honorable Minister and the NIPC head is a new process. The rules are a lot more clearer. We have some predictability around timelines for when what is done. 27 additional industries were added, so it's weightier conditions, if you like, also added and a lot of clearer rules.
Okay, thanks for giving us that taking us all the way along back to the beginning of it all. But again, what exactly is Pioneer Status Program?
All right, thank you. So the Pioneer Status Program, it's an incentive scheme that grants eligible companies and businesses tax holiday for an initial period of 3 years. So tax holiday meaning for companies that qualify and for products that qualify under the Pioneer Incentive Scheme, such businesses won't pay company income tax for an initial period of 3 years. And this is extendable for an additional 1 year or up to 2 years. So you have potentially up to 5 years of tax-free income by businesses that qualify for Pioneer Incentive Scheme. And that's one. Two, dividend paid during those Pioneer periods, which potentially could be for up to 5 years, like I did mention. Dividend paid to shareholders are tax-free. So the typical 10% withholding tax that applies on dividend payment is exempted. And a lot of other incentives, such as ability to recoup losses that you make during those period of 5 years in the period afterwards. And if you also incur capital expenditure during that particular period, you are available to claim allowances upon expiration of that particular scheme. So it's a tremendous tax benefit for companies that qualify.
But the key question, Yomi, is who is a pioneer? If you look at the lists, almost all these companies and these sectors have been in existence, perhaps with the exception of few, even among the new list, whether it is music production, publishing, television, for example. Channels Television is 21 years old. And I want to ask you straight, if we qualify as a pioneer in broadcasting television, private television broadcasting in Nigeria, for example. So would you say we qualified now at this point in time for Channels Television, for example, even though we're 21 years old?
That's right. So pioneer doesn't necessarily mean starting for the first year. So it's applicable to industries and sectors that haven't developed to the level of scale that is sufficient to galvanize economic development. So if you have industries and sectors that is not yet at the level that could galvanize the kind of growth and development that